Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again with another episode of Draft to Glory Goon Squad. And today we begin our first season after getting rid of the majority of this team. However, we're not done just yet, as there was a little bit of an opinion that perhaps Frank Kaufman should be traded, which, in a way, I kind of agree with it. I'm not necessarily worried about the cap hit, but I do kind of agree with that thought of getting rid of him. I mean, if we look at what this team looks like if we do get rid of him, it might be better to keep him and, maybe have him, Foot, and Castles on the third line. That might make sense. Although, we would be giving that ice time to Harold Wild instead of having him down in the AHL. So perhaps it is worth it to do this. Now, while we don't exactly need extra draft picks, I got to admit, I'm still kind of torn on this as I'm talking now. I think I might do it. I might. At the very least, Nabokov, Fleury, Wanvig, and Rakos are gone. I just need to decide whether or not I want to keep Kaufman. And if I do, cool. If I don't, well, then we get rid of him. Fairly straightforward, I'd like to think. So, let's go ahead and figure this out. Who are we getting rid of again? Wanvig, Rakos. I think it was, Fleury was one of them, wasn't he? And Nabokov? I'm pretty sure that was it. Yeah, because we have Ennis. Yeah, it was Fleury. I think I was confusing Forbes and Fleury. Maybe, in my mind at least. So these four, these are the first four that we're going to try to get rid of. Let's hope we can send them all out to Toronto for absolutely nothing. This is just one of those trades we were going to have to do anyway. I'll take that 7th round pick next year, and they're gone. Now, do we get rid of Kaufman? What can we get for Kaufman, I suppose, is the answer, and that is a 2nd round pick at the very least. That is a solid 2nd round pick if we trade him. We know that he's been good for 50 points in the past, though. He's pretty much guaranteed to hit 50. You know what? I don't think I can do it. It makes sense to get Wild a little bit more ice time. Actually, who would... Here, you know what? Let me look at the alternative. I should have made up my mind about this before I started recording, but hey, it didn't happen. Who would lose a spot? Either Ennis or Baumgartner. Neither would be a tremendous loss, I suppose. The biggest loss would be knocking Plant, McChesney, or Henridius down to the 3rd line in the AHL, which, I gotta admit, I don't want to do. I think for that reason alone, I'm gonna move Kaufman. I think Wild just dropped down to a 75, by the way, because I traded away one of his friends. As crazy as it sounds, I'm gonna go with it. Let's get rid of Frank Kaufman as well, and we will finalize this team. Where can we send him? That is the question. LA and Toronto, maybe. Oh my God, there's really nowhere left to trade him at this point. I'm going to see if LA, by some miracle, has the cap space to pull this off. They don't. All right, what about Columbus? What about the old Blue Jackets? They do. All right, well, we know we're not going to be able to get there first. Oh, 2nd next year or 2nd this year? What's our draft pick situation looking like? We have, 3 firsts this year, 2 seconds? How many seconds do we have next year? Just 1. Well, there is your answer. We'll trade Kaufman out to the Eastern Conference, and we'll get back Columbus's 2nd round pick next year. Frank Kaufman, you were a loyal servant to this team. However, you are gone, and we have dropped to contender status, which might not be the worst thing in the world. So as you get a look at it here, these will be the forward lines. We will give Harold Wild the chance on the 3rd line, Castles on the 2nd line. And then down in the AHL, I'm going to go best lines for the moment. And I actually have the lines set in front of me here for how I want this to be set up. I don't think Clymer is currently listed. Nope, he is. It's McChesney that's missing. So let's put him there. Where the hell's Clymer? I'm probably looking right at it. Where is he? Yep, there he is. Literally looking right at his name, yet magically couldn't see it. Funny how that works. We're going to put Walls here. Henridius, Forbes, McTaggart. Beautiful. The defense is now officially good to go. Let me take out Grabeshkov. Never mind. I lied about it being good to go. I flat out lied to you. I betrayed your trust, and I'm so sorry. Now these teams are set. Feeling good heading into this season. One way or another, we have our rebuilding opportunity. It's just a matter now of seeing how good this team turns out to be. After all of these moves, we've had so much as we signed Woods. I don't know why I signed Woods. Was it a cap space thing? I have no idea why I signed Woods, but we signed him, so that's good. That's what happens when you do something at the end of an episode and then don't record for a day. You forget little details like that. Last season, we started off terribly, and we turned it into a division title. We turned it into a number 1 seed, I do believe. This year, there's no pressure. There's no expectations, and it's been that way it's that way for the first time in a while. We still have Marcus Brodin. We still have Frederick McDonough. Good old Freddie is really the last remaining. He is the last remaining staple of that defense. There's no Crest. There's no Likens. It's so drastically different. And then, of course, on offense, you still have Sivan, Marty. Of course, Nolan Foote is still here. We held on to really just 4 of the guys that kind of helped lead this team last year. And, of course, with the goaltending being the same, I don't know. It's tough. It is tough. And I can't help but think, like I said, I can't trade McDonough. I should, and I trust me, I know I should trade Nolan Foote. I don't know if I want to. I kind of want him to just be a lifer. I mean, yeah, we could get an extra second, maybe even a low-end first out of trading Nolan Foote. But part of me really just wants to keep him here. At least he's won a cup, you know? At least he's had some success. So stay here in Anaheim. You're going on 36 years old this season. Kind of like Shane Doan, except with a better result, is the way I'm choosing to view it. Same with McDonough at this point. And, I don't know. We could still move Marty. We could still move Sivan. I'm not really sure how to progress. I suppose the pressure is on my shoulders yet again to deliver in the draft. We should be getting some higher-end draft picks, whether directly from our own stockpile or from whatever picks we've acquired, which who knows how those teams will be doing this season. I don't even know if I really want to pay attention to it. I think I kind of prefer it to be a surprise once we get to the lottery results. But so far here, we are in early January, 19, 16, and 6. It's looking like we are a fringe playoff team unless we are able to find consistent success here. I'm starting to think maybe I should stop the sim just to take a look at the stat line for a lot of our players, but I don't think I'm going to do anything at this point. And to be honest, the thought of trading like a Nolan Foote at the deadline, I'm not going to do that because I already got rid of our depth. It wouldn't make sense. I don't really want someone getting ice time down in the AHL that isn't on our team. I'd prefer that spot to at least go to somebody, even if it means picking up an extra second-round pick. I don't know. I'm trying to fight the thought of just blow it all up, trade Nolan Foote, who cares? Like, my loyalty to a fictional, well, he's not a fictional player, but my loyalty to a video game character is conflicted by my desire to end up with as many draft picks as possible, because you know me, I love pick hoarding. So it's a nice little bout of inner turmoil at the moment. However, as we approach the deadline now, 31, 25, and 7, I'm going to stop the sim as we're about to get that prompt for the trade deadline, of course, if it wants to load. Please don't take that long to load. Please. Okay, we could be here a while. Now see this? Nope, okay, we're good. Never mind. I was going to say this would be the point in time where someone better than me would make a jump cut to just save time. Nope. I was about to go on a 35-minute rant. We're not in a playoff spot. We're 2 points back of Arizona, though, who are currently in a playoff spot. So let's take a look at the team. You have Sivan, McNabb, and Marty, which, man, McNabb just does not put up goals, but he is an assist machine. Oh boy, that second line is awful. Oh, that second line's bad. At least Tyler Castles is improving, but that second line is pretty shit. We're getting some good point production from Polasek, though, which is pretty nice. He's still a fourth-line guy. I was wondering if he jumped up to the third line. He did not. McDonough, Castonguay, Pecker, Wilcox, Fairchild, who is now a top 4 defenseman. That could cause some issues. Possibly. Brodin showing up as a 91. He's still a monster, though. Of course, that's why we're here. Of course, that's why we're still in contention, despite a much weaker lineup than we've iced in previous years. Our goaltending is still ridiculous. We are 8 points back of the Sharks. They do have a game in hand. We'll keep the team the same. Let's do this. We have a very busy month of March. We do have a fairly decent playoff streak that is currently active. This might be the year that we see that end. Especially, too, with 2 straight losses, now 3 out of 4 to begin the month of March. Make that 4 out of 5. Not ideal, but if this is the year that we have to take a step back, so be it. Playoffs would have been extra, and I'd love to know if we would have found a way to actually get a win with this team in the postseason, especially after how the past few years have gone. But it's not looking like that's going to happen. And there it is. It's official. For the first time in a very long time, the Anaheim Ducks, your Goon squad, have missed out on the playoffs. Almost by design. Almost by design. We took a step back this year willingly, and I can't really say that I'm surprised. Trading guys away like Kaufman, trading away the majority of our top 4. You can't be surprised by this end result. Neither team is looking like they're going to make the postseason. Actually, it's confirmed neither team is going to make the postseason. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that, but what's done is done, and it is probably better for the team in the future, although we are clearly having some players go through a morale crisis at the moment. They're not all that happy about how the season went. I'll tell you what I'm not happy about is Sivan only putting up 44 points. I'm not happy about Glenn McNabb putting up under 50 points. I'm not happy about Marty Dick putting up under 50 points. Marty put up 53 last year. This year he put up 40. How do you explain our top lines? How do you explain our top line's sudden lack of ability to put up a decent amount of points? Nolan Foote, that second line in general just kind of sucked in terms of defense. Jody Pandolfo had a good season. I'll gladly take 43 points from a third liner. He put up more points than Marty, so go figure. Harold Wild did all right. Cashman, 20 points. Decent from Polasek. Exactly what I'd want from a fourth liner. That's what I'd want from a third liner. So I'm really more disappointed in our top line. God, it sucks to see McDonough have a minus, though, for his plus minus. I'm more disappointed in our top line. I got to admit. I'm thinking maybe we're not done with the changes. Our goaltending was still spectacular. It's just had our top line delivered, had they each gotten 10 to 15, maybe even 20 more points, considering they probably should have. If you want to take a look at the best players on the team, they were it. They completely failed to deliver. The goaltending was all right. The defense, it's not like our defense was awful. We still have a very good defense, even if it's not at the same A++ level that it had been in the past. Our lack of goal scoring was evident, not just with some members of the bottom 6, even the second line. Our top line underperformed. Like I said, if you get that extra 10 points out of Marty, however many points out of Sivan, an extra 10, 15, or 20 like I mentioned, that's the difference between us being a playoff team this year. So, again, you have to wonder, and I'm not really sure if it's fair, but you have to wonder if we did point the blame towards anybody, who would it be? And I'm not blaming that defense, and I'm not blaming our goaltending. So it comes down to the lack of goal scoring. And again, when we've seen our top line guys put up 50 to 60 points in the past, and Marty only puts up 40, I'm disappointed. This team was good enough to make the playoffs. Finishing last in our division is an embarrassment. Even with us taking that step back, finishing last, I'm not okay with that. Sivan at 44 points led our team. It's flat out not good enough. Toronto had the number one record. Let's see, goals for per game. We had the second lowest. The Flyers sucked. But we were one of 4 teams to average under 2 goals a game. Second worst goals for per game average in the league. Our goals against average look to have been about mid-table. So, again, not blaming the defense and the goaltending necessarily. Our power play was pretty good. Power play was really good. Top 7 in the league. Not too bad. Our PK at 88% was the best in the league. So our special teams were solid. Our special teams were very solid. Our goaltending was solid. We just couldn't score goals. We just couldn't score goals. It's a problem we've had before. Obviously, it got worse with Sivan's morale dropped even more. Jesus Christ, maybe we're gonna have to move these guys by default. One bad year for the team, and they're ready to jump ship. I don't know. Maybe I'm all right with getting rid of Sivan. Maybe I'm all right with going full rebuild, nearly scorched earth, just to try and get back to a competitive way. I mean, it's the same thing that we've had to, same thing we had to contemplate in previous attempts as well. Marty's down an overall point. Fairchild made it up to an 84 this year, so a good season for him. Pecker's currently down to an 83. I mean, Fairchild very well may take his spot. So Tambellini is solid. Castle's up to an 81, playing like an 82. Sivan is down 5 points. McNabb is down 6. What the hell's going on there with those two? We could very well see a new top line. At least Sivan and McNabb, not too happy with them. Marty, I feel like people might not want to see him go. Nolan he hit the cliff. He hit the cliff this year. If we were going to get rid of him, this would have been the episode at the very beginning to do so. We kept him. Whoo boy, maybe he'll retire. He dropped by 6 overall points. I kind of hope he retires, just to not hang around to make me regret not trading him. Wild went up by 3. Down in the AHL, Acker went up by 2. Walls, the enforcer, went up by 5. He's a 77. Spencer Walls, what a beast. 3 points for Pratt and Plant, 3 for Sauer, 3 for Krebs, 3 for Henritius. Any, major development? Not bad from Pagadawan, up 5 points. Not bad from Rogers, up from a 56 to a 64. 4 points for McDermott. 9 points for Grant Linden. I like it. Brian Boss went up by 5 as well. So a good bit of progression, which of course is very welcome, and it gives us somewhat of a positive as we head towards the draft. Moment of truth here, though. We know we have 3 first-round picks. How well is the lottery going to treat us? That is the question. Big money, no whammies. Be kind to us, number 1 pick. Thank you, Washington. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. We have the number 1 pick and the 8th overall pick. Not too bad. And of course, we have one more pick in this draft beyond, or in that round beyond the 15th pick. Thank you, Washington. Now, someone can call that cheap if they want to. I say it would have been cheap waiting until the draft and then just knowing for sure what I'm getting. We left it up to the lottery. Lady Luck was on our side. We have a number 1 overall pick. Question is, will Nolan Foote retire? He will not. Bodine retired, though, as did Gavin Woods. So Nolan Foote will be here for one more season at least, which, again, I'm okay with, as Connor McDavid retires with 1,666 points. He hung on until he was 40, and for the record, he played quite a few more games, but David Pastrnak had more points than Austin Matthews. No, Matthews' point totals were a bit more impressive. I mean, if I'm McDavid, I'd play one more year to try and get 15 more assists and 19 more goals. How could you not? That's what I hate, is it's like, Pasta, you only needed 2 more assists. Like, at least Matthews hit 800, right? But when you see someone who is so close to a milestone, like Suzuki, you were 8 assists away. Same for Edler. Before you hit a new milestone, you just couldn't have held on. Apparently not. All right, here we go. Here we go. Feeling good. Moving on, we're leaving that bad season behind us because New Day rocks. No, because things have gone very well for us. We have the number 1 overall pick, we have the 8th overall pick, and the 23rd pick. Of course, we have more draft picks next season as well. We'll get a full look at what we're dealing with here. That being the 3 firsts, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, a 4th, 5th, 6th, and 2 7ths. Next year, again, 3 firsts. We have 2 seconds, a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 2 7ths. And we may get even more draft picks if I move Sivan, McNabb, and Marty. But for now, we haven't looked at the board. Who is available? Well, we have a franchise player. We will not. However, there is a power forward in the top 5. Ian Geispers. I think it's Geispers. I know there was a Toronto prospect with the last name, and I'm seemingly remembering Steve Dangle pronouncing it Geispers. So I'm going with Geispers. I'm just keep saying the name. Ian Geispers will be our first overall pick, power forward from the Kootenay Ice. And he's decent. I'll take it. Nothing truly game-changing from the start, but medium elite, 73 overall, 18 years old. It's pretty damn good. I'm not complaining. Strong addition to this team. He was not the best player available. Hobson, Jenks were better. You got the equalizer there with Crab. Could have been worse. Could have gotten Aegon. So I'm not complaining. Strong way to begin this draft. And of course, it's a little bit easier to hit on these picks when they're not happening at the end of the first round. My problem here is that we don't have any other eligible players inside the top 10. So that kind of sucks. We got to go off the board. We have Bejan. We have Upshaw. We have Nash. Another power forward later on. So let's see here. Devin Nash. Devin Nash is back. He was in the draft last year as a 17-year-old, if I'm not mistaken. Or am I thinking, did I look at the draft board last year? I'm not sure, but Devin Nash is there. Big sexy Devin Nash. We have Howard Upshaw, another power forward, and the goaltender, Michel Bejan. Or Bejan. Oh, that's tough. I want to go with Nash, but I feel like you got a goalie in the first round in Bejan. If he's medium elite, he could be Marcus Brodin's replacement. And for that reason, I got to go for the Canadian, Michel Bejan. And I kind of regret it. He is only medium starter. Oh, that sucks. God, that sucks. In fairness, Nash was awful. This draft in general is shit. Oh, we picked a bad time to rebuild, guys. Upshaw was probably the pick at medium top 6, but a 60 overall. So he's got a bit of a ways to go in his development. So overall, we still ended up with a decent pick in Bejan, but this is not the draft to have ended up with a ton of picks in when you're looking to kick off a rebuild. Just a whole lot of average right now. Let's see, we have Grattan, Mendoza, Ferraro, and Haskins. At this stage, there is also Ray, who isn't exactly a guarantee, Ted Ray, to be decent. So we have Haskins, that we know nothing about. We have Lou Ferraro, who we know nothing about. We have Mendoza, who we know nothing about, and William Gratton, who we know nothing about. Imagine that. Let me sort by potential for once. For once in this draft, let me see. Any late steals? And the answer to that is probably no. Although, oh my God. 86 speed, 85 5-hole. Well, I still would have taken the risk on the goaltender Beijing and here in the first round, but Jaden Platt could be the guy. Jaden Platt is a guaranteed pick later on in this draft. Oh my God. That is going to be huge for us. Just that starting overall is going to be unreal. Now, is there anybody in the second round? We have Comrie here. High league interest at 20 years old. We have this power forward, Antonio. A lot of exacts, but they're not great. Stanley Antonio. We have this hybrid goalie in Lars Zontag. Of course, we tried to pronounce it Sontag before, as in Lawrence Sontag of Funhouse, but people corrected me in the past, saying, no, he's Swedish. It wouldn't be pronounced that way. We have a grinder in the second round, Alex Del Monte. Not bad. So I'd say Del Monte is definitely someone to look out for in the second round. As far as the pinned players go, however, I just have to take the risk with someone. We've taken a goalie. We've taken a forward. It's time to take a defenseman. Mendoza 6'3", 212. Ferraro's 6'2", 211. Mendoza's from the Seattle Thunderbirds. Let's go for Troy Mendoza. And he's not that great. I can only hope that the other guy wasn't that good. We have back-to-back picks here in the second round. Sontag wasn't that great anyway. Medium starter, so thank God for Geispers. Who else do we have? Perrine was good, not eligible for us. Haskins would have been meh. Ferraro was meh. Gratton was the pick. Low elite, 65 overall. That would have been a solid pickup, but what are you going to do? Again, clearly not the strongest of drafts right now. We're doing what we can. So we could go for Ray. We could go for Comrie, Antonio. Who else was available here in the second round? We had that grinder. Holy shit. So, the dog spotted something. The dog spotted something. How I wish I had webcam. Do I leave that in? I normally edit those out. She's still going. You can hear her, I'm sure. I normally edit those out. I feel like I should leave that in on this. I'm going to leave that one in. Let's act like nothing happened by taking the grinder, Alex Del Monte. Projected here for the second round. I guarantee it was a cat or a squirrel. Probably a cat. Alex Del Monte. ADM. Your favorite grinder and mine. Medium elite at 19 years old. 63 overall. That gets this draft back on track. So now we have now added 2 medium elites, a medium starter, and Mendoza. So, yeah, but not bad. When you see a grinder rated that highly or projected to go that highly in the draft, typically a good sign. You might not often draft a grinder, but seeing as the series, what series we're running, it kind of made sense too. So I'm feeling pretty good. Let's see here. The second to third round, do I have anybody who's more of a guarantee? We have Logan Patolny. We have Hargrave. Again, Harvey Hargrave. I think I have to take him, don't I? Harvey Hargrave. Oh my God, the alliteration's out of control. We have this complete unknown in Philip Kuta. I don't know. We have this power forward in Ville Ilonen, who, again, we know nothing about. Shannon Martin. Boy, this is not good in the game. Didn't do me many favors here. Rodney was available. Ryan Kane is available. We have Rene Jelena. I was wondering if there was going to be anybody who's like a guarantee later on here in this draft. It's not looking like it. Although 86 stick checking for Vince Andreoff is pretty nice. The starting overall will be half decent, but it's nothing too crazy. So basically what we've learned is that my scouts have left me for dead when it comes to information heading into this draft. So we're just going to take the risk on, let's take the risk on Ray and hope that he's medium top 9, maybe low top 6. He was medium top 9. Well, you know, worth going for it, I guess. I mean, let's be honest. I'm not expecting much out of the alternatives, and so far, all of those defensive D-men have been garbage. Oh, they've been bad. We have Cuda. Who else do we have? The power forward, Antonio. This might have been. You know what? I don't care what anyone says. If they find, like, oh, you shouldn't have gotten the first pick. Well, in fairness, Comrie was the guy. I went for the defenseman to Mendoza, so I'm like, maybe take a forward this time. Nope. Comrie was the guy. 20 years old. I think he had high league interest. If he had low league interest, let me know. Did I flat out miss on Comrie? Not with hindsight. Was there any kind of warning sign that Comrie was going to be good? I may have missed it. In fairness to me, you cannot blame me for getting distracted. I'm still kind of distracted and waiting for the dog to flip the hell out again. That said, I feel like as my reward, or as EA kind of evening things out after we got that first overall pick, it's kind of like, well, yeah, here you go. Have a whole bunch of nothing. So we have Ylönen, we have Kane. I don't know who else to go for here because it doesn't look that great. I think I'm going to go for Ylönen. I am. Let's go for the Finn. Ville Ylönen, 6'4", 18-year-old power forward. Medium bottom 6. All right, well, at least I found Del Monte, because if I didn't, it would have been bad. Kane was also garbage, and Wah was garbage. Again, not the best of drafts to end up with a few extra picks in, clearly. So let's go ahead. Well, I'm sure by doing this, I'm going to miss out on somebody. I want to see if I can find a steal here. Even if it's an off-the-board steal, I want to know. Saberine's not available to us. High bottom 6 grinder. The overall isn't going to be there. Let's see. We have this defensive D-man and Kenneth Steves. Again, it's not going to be there. Defensive D-man, no thank you. Goalie, no thank you. This power forward and Depenta. No. So we still have Platt as an option, which is pretty sweet. We have this grinder Shing, Marty Shing. I mean, the starting overall is not going to be terrible, but obviously the potential is. What about McIntyre? Not a steal. What about this power forward and Sawchuk? Not a steal. This enforcer and Bertuzzi, 84 strength. Andrew Bertuzzi, I'm going to mark him down as a possibility. What do we have here? We have Beach. Nope. Was that Jose Beach? Cracknell? Matt Cracknell. No. What about this grinder and Jass? 82. Body checking. Decent defense. I mean, let's be honest. With how bad this draft is, he might be worth it. I'm just saying. He might be worth the pick. Who else do we have? This power forward Cleary. No. I might just take that goaltender. By default at this rate, Legacy is garbage. Petrovic is not great. Anybody else? This power forward and Cuff. I mean, I know what his potential was. I'm just seeing if anyone at least has a decent overall to make up for these lackluster potentials. It's not looking too good. We have Brown, Jack Brown. Not good. This power forward in Kerslake. Also not great. But his name is Dale. And that could be the one thing this team is missing, is a solid Dale. We have Baumgartner. 82 strength isn't too bad. But, this guy Godfrey is going to be garbage. Pielmeyer is going to be garbage. Who else do we have? The goaltender's not going to be too great. Yeah, this was the worst draft possible to end up with all these picks. I'm calling it right now. Lovejoy. Jared Lovejoy, not tremendous. I'm trying to get down to 3 times scouted. All right, that way I have a clear stopping point as we call the timeout. And now we go right back to where we were. Although the game is glitching. There we go. Took forever for it to load up the timeout, which is all well and good. So right back down to 3 times scouted. So yeah, what I'm learning is that we might as well just take the risk with the players that are projected to go up next. Jody Marshall is not good. Purcell is a sniper and not available to us. Pahorkin, no. Gogolev, no. Geet, no. McPherson, absolutely not. Okay, yep, this is the best draft for us. Just the best. Linglet, nope. Fane, no. We are not going to find anybody else, are we? We're just going to have to risk it with all these picks. Mara, Harvey Mara at 18 years old. Although I suppose it was Paul Mara and not Mara. So, yeah, that's a thing. We have another kind of meh enforcer. Is this Jay Bomeister? It is in a way Jay Bomeister. Jaden Bomeister. So there you go. We have Tanaka, who isn't good. That power forward, who isn't good. We have Harrington. Surprise! He isn't good. Iokala. Oh my god, this is so bad. Karainen, please. 77 stick checking, decent skating. Kai Karainen is probably going to be one of our picks. Is this Taves guy any good? Not really. Wayne Taves. Good old Wayne Taves. We have Vince Andreoff, again, who has that crazy good stick checking. That's about it. And that brings us down to the 2-time scouted, where we're not. Is that a... No, that's right. It would have been a Harold Van Kadishin. That's a Stan Van Kadishin, son of the legendary Peoples. I'm going to go for Andreoff. I'm just going to hope that his starting overall is half decent, because why not? And, oh, baby, that's a steal. That is a steal. You would have thought for sure it was low or medium. This is the one time where I certainly didn't expect it. I talk about it all the time, where maybe, somehow, some way, it's a high potential. It never is, until today. High top 6, 65 overall, Andreoff. I will take it. Vince, welcome to the team and the USO Penitentiary. So many wrestling references today, and I don't know why. What a pickup for Andreoff. It might be worth taking the risk, despite these exact potentials. You never quite know, and especially when it's this bad of a draft, why the hell not? Why not take the risk? Now, what I am going to do, just to get this out of the way, actually, let's take a look at these pinned players. Is anybody projected? Karainen's projected for the 5th round. I'm going to guess he's medium 7th. I'm just going to call it now. He's got to be medium 7th. But I'm still going to take him. Kai Karainen. Medium top 6, 63 overall. Better than I would have thought. I'll take it. I don't really care to know who I missed out on. DePenta was kind of meh. He was all right. I guess we'll take a look. Why not? I didn't take a look at the 3rd round, though, either. So we'll go way, way back. So we had Andreoff. Anybody else who was half decent? Dwyer, but he wasn't eligible for us. Kerslake. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts. That's the equivalent, though. That is the... we got the defensive equivalent of his potential. So, doesn't hurt too much. We couldn't have gone wrong had we taken old Kerslake. So, it's all well and good. Did I miss out on anybody? Yes, I did. For the 2nd time in this draft, I've missed out on a medium 4 defenseman. As a matter of fact, for the 3rd time in this draft, I've missed out on a medium top 4 defenseman. Hindsight is a bitch, isn't it? Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's bad. But I'm still feeling okay. We found Delmonte. We have Andreoff. We found a couple of gems in this draft where, let's be honest, there's been a lot of shit and a lot of best guessing. So I feel like we're making decent... we're making some decent progress here. We're doing okay. We're not doing great, but we're doing okay. So, again, we want to make sure that we end up with Platt, maybe Bertuzzi, and Jass, but we'll certainly look to make an on-par pick here. So we have Pitt as an option. We have Flood as an option. I kind of like going for Pitt just because we know nothing about him. There's also Johnston, who I feel like might be an even better option. Then there's Baldwin, 84 speed. Darren Baldwin, 20 years old, high league interest. I don't have a good feeling about it, but we got Adam Arnott as well. We looked at before. We already know how good he is, though. We got Redmond, 19 years old, no league interest. I'm going to go for Baldwin. Why not? That's why, because he's just bang average. So that sucks. That's okay. That's all right. I'm still feeling relatively okay about what we've accomplished in this draft, seeing how bad it's been on certain occasions. So we know Arnott and Redmond weren't that great. Johnston sucked. Flood was meh. Steves, low elite. And you know he's going to develop quickly if he's still a younger player, which he is. Kenneth Steves will be a 70 in no time. Any other players that were eligible for us? It's not looking like it. It's a bunch of playmakers and snipers. Shitload of them, actually. And okay, that's that. So we have missed out on some decent players, which is to be expected, I'd say. Do I take the Enforcer? We have the Enforcer. We have Marcoux, 18 years old. High league interest. We have Shishkinov, 18 years old, no league interest. We have Lop, Junior Lop. What a name. I can't even say great name, but hey, it's a name. The Sniper Cavallo. Oh, that would be nice. He's probably low elite, though. He's probably low elite. Dalmont, 19 years old. Dalmont, maybe? You know, I'm not even going to risk it. I want to make sure we get him. Now is the time. Save the day for me, please, Jaden Platt. 80 angles, 85 5-hole, 88 agility, 86 speed. Save the day. Medium starter and only a 66. I was hoping for medium elite. I guess I can't be upset, but I'm a little bit upset. Just another decent pick. We've only had a couple of really good picks in this draft, which, when you're rebuilding, it's not quite what you want to hear. Not quite what you want to see, but we're making the most of it. Bertuzzi might have been a decent pick at the time, particularly for an Enforcer, but I feel like we made the right choice, guaranteeing ourselves the addition of Platt. So I'm all right with it. And now we decide who to go for. We have Dalmont again. We have Fedotenko, 19 years old, no league interest, and Michael Fedotenko. We have Sylvester. We actually have some information on. Kirk Pandolfo. Can't go wrong with a Kirk. We have Nichols, low top 6, no league interest. You watch. That guy will be great, right? That's just how this game works. He'll be great. I wish we could draft a Finneganov. We cannot. Phaneuf, Francois Phaneuf, and Grachev. 20 years old. I'm expecting him to be one of those medium top 6, 60 range kind of guys. I feel like that's to be expected. Which means I could go for Yuri Jas. Yuri Jas. You know what? I will. Let's take the Belarusian grinder. Whatever. Screw it. Let's go for it. I was hoping for medium top 9. Damn it. Damn it all. We still have another pick in this round. Whoops. I forgot. That's okay. All right. Well, now we have a chance for redemption. Grachev wasn't that great. Dalmont wasn't that great. Cavallo was, in fact, a low elite. So there's that. We have Bladder, a Finneganov. Brown was meh. Fedotenko. Okay, so we really couldn't have done much there, even if we wanted to. I'm a little bit disappointed at how bad this draft has been, but them's the breaks, right? Let's go for Nichols. One of those picks, he's either going to be awful or he's going to be half decent from the Seattle Thunderbirds. And he's decent. Pretty damn good, in fact. Low elite. 18 years old, 52 overall. He'll be a 70 overall before you know it. Welcome to the team, Mr. Nichols. Welcome aboard. There was a power forward there, too, at the end, I do believe. Overall, a decent draft. A fairly good draft for us. Again, nothing earth-shattering. No Frederick McDonoughs, but that's a once-in-a-lifetime event, so we can't really ask for that again. Not our best draft, but certainly not our worst. As I didn't worry about mid-season re-signings at all. So that could back us into a really kind of rough corner. But of course, we have all of the cap space in the world. So, with that said, let's look to bring back Brooks, because I at least don't want him to walk away for nothing. I'm still going to look for the 85% trick, though, because of course I am. As I try to close this Word document I had opened up earlier to keep track of the lines I wanted to run this season, and that everything's happening. To be honest, though, with Brooks, I probably don't have to do it, but guess what? I will, because I'm cheap and stingy, and how dare these players want to make money for their solid play. I mean, if anyone deserves a fucking solid contract, it's probably Brooks at this point. We'll do that, and we'll also look to bring in McDermott. On defense, Pecker needs to be re-signed. He wants to sign an extension as well. And of course, it makes more sense. It makes all the sense in the world to knock this down to $6.7 million. It'll make that contract slightly more tradable if we need to move it. In fact, we'll let go of Provorov, even though there's a good chance he'll be coming right back. We'll re-sign McCann. Of course, we're going to have to sign some veterans to stupid deals just to kind of make this work. Marty is willing to sign an extension, $9 million over 2 seasons. We'll drop it down to $7.65 and hopefully save a decent amount of money. That'd be pretty sweet. Shing, who fresh off of his rookie season, we're going to look to save a little bit of money here. Drop that down to a good $9.50. What about McTaggart? I at least don't want to lose you for nothing. So I'll try to re-sign you. Left wings, Nolan Foote, currently an 80. Gone are the days where he's asking for a stupid amount of money. I can knock that down to 2.3. However, he doesn't want to re-sign. So I'm going to go 1 year at $3 million. Cashman wants to re-sign. I'm going to just drop that down to 1.15. Baumgartner, bring him back for 3 years. Maybe we'll re-sign Orpik. And then centers, we have McNabb, who has no choice but to stay. Really, he's an RFA. So we'll try to save some money here at 5.55. Dead Live. That's a Talking Dead reference, folks. Actually, I can go with that that deal there. Polasek, did he want to re-sign? He does. So I'll hit him up at 2.1. Drop that down to 1.8. Not a bad deal for him. Ennis is smart and is not asking for a one-way deal. And that is that. We're looking okay. Let's see what happens here in terms of players potentially declining these contracts. And then I have the decision to make on whether or not I want to make a gigantic move here. Which I might. I just might. So I'm just going to spam this. I know we've had a couple of rejected. We've actually had quite a few rejected. But that's okay. We can... I mean, we have the money to spend. It was worth seeing who would take a reduced contract, right? You know? It made sense. So let's go goaltenders. It's actually Brooks who rejected. Rejected? He rejected it. I'm going to bump him up to 1.5. On defense, Pecker. I mean, he said he wanted to sign for a decent amount here. I mean... Let's see, I can knock that down to what? 6.7? I'm going to try to knock it down to 7 million even, which is a decent little amount there. Defense is good. Right wings, Marty, again, wants to re-sign, but does he really? He's being slightly difficult about this, only slightly. We'll drop that down to 8 million even, which is still a decent deal for us. Shing, we'll just give him what he wants. That's fine. Left wings, Nolan rejected. Yeah, Nolan, what are you thinking, buddy? Let's bump that up to 3.75. Because why not? As if Nolan Foote hasn't made the most money a professional hockey player has ever made at this stage. We'll bump up Polasek to 2.5. Again, we want to be smart about the contracts because you never really know who's going to get traded when it, in part due to player progression. So the better the contract they're on, the easier they are to trade. It gives them a little bit more value. So it does make sense to play it safe and to be careful. So that is what we have done as Pecker, Marty, and just those two have rejected. Time to send them all of the money. Not all of it, literally. I mean, we have, what, $60 million in cap space? 63. 63. but we'll still send them some decent deals. So again, Marty, I could knock that down to, what was it, 7? Here, if I go 1 year, so he's looking for just a stupid number. Almost, I feel like it's a glitch number. How about 1 year at 8 million? Please tell me that's enough. And then Pecker, who is an RFA, let's go 1 year. And at 1 year, he's not looking for a whole hell of a lot. Let's go 1 year at 5 mil. I could drop it down to 4.3. I'm going to go 5 mil, though, just to save a little bit of money. Pretty much meets his asking price. So that works, and we'll see if signing them to 1 year deals works out. Because both of them, with both of them, there is a chance that come this time next season, they're not going to be on the team anyway. So let's see. Let's get our answers, as both have accepted. Lovely. Let's move to the start of free agency, and let's find out what's going to happen. We're going to take a look at the trade screen and see if I'm going to move out even more people after a fairly disappointing season from a couple of names in particular. So goaltending. Let's take a look here. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of medium starters. I've been pretty consistent with the caliber of goaltender that I've been drafting. We're all right for now. I do have one goalie too many. We can make that move during the preseason. On defense, however, wow, Freddie's value. It's falling quick. It is. And Pecker's actually the most valuable defenseman on our team. So I was thinking of moving him because I'm going to have to move one of these defensemen anyway. If you look at the overall, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to have to move somebody, and it'll make sense to move a top 4 defenseman. I'm not going to move Pecker yet, though, because he might get better. It depends on his progression, whether or not he keeps his job here. And then forwards. We have Marty. We have Sivan. We have McNabb. And I'm not happy with any of them. I'm not. So I'm going to do something here. I am. I'm going to do something here. McNabb, you're on your way to the Eastern Conference if I can help it, buddy. And I'm going to look for a rebuilder, of course, to try and help influence this in any way I can. Now, I did just trade someone good to Columbus. That's not a very good idea. That, of course, being Kaufman. The Philadelphia Flyers, though. That sounds like a team that wouldn't mind having a McNabb on their squad. Except I'm not going to take it this year. I'm going to get it next year. Again, we're going to kind of spread the wealth on some of these picks. We have 3 first-round picks this year already. Next year, we already have 2. So why not make it 3? McNabb is off to Philadelphia. Another fairly disappointing year. You're out of here. You are out of here. Glenn McNabb, we'll see you later. That means next is Sivan. And we're going to send him straight to the rival competition. We're going to send him to Pittsburgh. We're not going to do it in 2039, though. We're going to do it in 2040. The value is pretty lopsided. The question is, though, how good will that pick be in 2040? We're playing the lottery. Time will tell. Sivan, disappointed in you. We'll see you later. And that leaves 1. Marty Dick. What a name. One of the most recognizable names from this series. But he has a history of disappearing in the playoffs. Disappointing season last year. It's time for him to go too. It's time for a new era, as we'll look to send him to Washington to join old teammates Sebastian Kress and maybe someone else, at the very least Sebastian Kress, who is incredibly pissed off with this team. Now, here's the thing. I did get a pretty good pick from Washington last year, didn't I? So, yeah. Boy, am I tempted to take their first round pick again. However, I want to stock up for the future. Might not be the smartest move, but I want first round picks a few years from now as well. So, instead of getting another first and putting all of our eggs into this year's basket, I want to make it so that we have 3 first round picks in the next 3 drafts, and that would be 4 years in a row of 3 first-round picks. Marty Dick to Washington for the 2040 first-round pick. Our top line, our very disappointing top line from last season, has been traded. As if the rebuild wasn't in full effect before that moment, it is certainly fact as of this point. We are rebuilding. We are retooling. We just had a decent enough draft. Again, 3 first-round picks in each of the next 3 drafts, and it would be 4 in total if you include what we just went through. And I'm feeling pretty bad about it. I am. It's so risky. But now is the right time to pull the trigger, and it sucks to see some of these guys go. Like I said, Nolan stays, Freddie stays, but changes had to be made, as unfortunately the game is signing some free agents for me, but that's all right. We still have to sort out this team moving forward anyway, and we will do just that before this episode ends. So again, Marty is gone. Sevon and McNabb are gone. The guys like Kress and Kaufman. So many changes now over the past few seasons. But last year, we finished dead last despite keeping those 3. So what's the point? We'll move on from them now, and we will commit to the rebuild with the exception of keeping our longest tenured forward, our best defenseman, and our best goaltender, 2 future Channel Hall of Famers. I suppose there might be an argument for trading Marcus Brodin now. I'm not going to do that, I don't think. If you guys decide to do that, I have an easy fix. I sign Platt. So let me know. Do we turn the reins over to Brooks and Acker at the NHL level? AHL level would be Josephson and Platt. In the meantime, let's get rid of McDermott, and we will look to get back fair value. Can I send him out to Winnipeg? I should be able to. How about for a second-round pick this year? Thank you very much, Winnipeg. We'll get fair value there. So again, the goaltending, easily fixable if we decide to get rid of Brodin. As far as the defense goes, Fairchild continues to be a monster for us. I don't think Pecker ended up getting any better. So when I look at the roles here, we have 1 top 4 defenseman that has to go. We have Robinson and Johnston as the third pairing. So somebody has to go. And it's got to be Pecker or Wilcox. Both are about equal here. And if I get rid of Pecker, I have the decent amount of lefties and righties. Wilcox has less value though. Let's see. To be honest, wow, Pecker's defensive category is ridiculous. I didn't even know. Wilcox though at 6'5", his defensive category is also pretty crazy. You know what? I'm kind of disappointed in our former second round Seal, capping out at an 85 overall. He's an amazing skater as well, though. He has more value. I think he's got to go. It might make sense really to get rid of Freddie, but that's not happening. So it's Pecker or Wilcox, and I'm gonna get rid of Pecker. I think Wilcox might be able to improve by 1 point. So can I send him to an Eastern Conference team? Is the question. An Eastern Conference team that can afford and also fit his contract, which it's not looking like that request is going to work out. Tampa, can you somehow, I know they don't have any cap available, but somehow will this work, EA? Aha, see, that's why you always check. And we will gladly take your first round pick, not in 2042, or in 2041. By that point, I hope to be back in contention. I'll gladly take your first round pick this year. Maybe. You know what? Nope, let's keep getting depth. Let's keep getting depth. So we are what? How far into this are we? We're heading into 2038. So we're 20 years. Ooh, yeah, we're 20 years into this. We got 5 years left. Yeah, you know what? Each of the next 3 years, that's fine. because in that final draft, in the 2040 draft, with one of the first-round picks that we've gotten, we can still find somebody decent. That's pretty much, though, the last year that we'd look to get a high pick that might be able to immediately contribute. By that point, we should be fine. So I am going to go back to a first. You could argue that maybe I should have taken that higher Washington pick. It is what it is. You know, it is what it is. At this point, I don't think people are complaining that, I think the complaint's more I'm getting too many first-round picks rather than what first-round pick I'm getting. You know? We'll see what happens with it. Regardless, it's a first-round pick. You never know how it'll play out with the AI. But I am openly admitting, given the strategy that I had just currently employed by trading Will Pecker and getting back the Tampa pick, I probably should have gone with Washington's. I didn't really think it through. I can admit that. That's okay. I made a mistake 20 years into this series. I forgive myself. But let's see here. So the NHL is sorted, and then down in the AHL it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we need to sign one or more. And to be honest, at the very least, McCann and Langkow have to go because they're just not good. Can I send them out to Tampa, actually, as a matter of fact? How about a nice shiny 7th round pick? And actually, I'll tack on whoever else I can just to avoid picking up another 7th round pick. So, let's see. Forwards, any complete misses? Ilanen. I'm going to get rid of Jass. And Ennis at this point isn't going to make it. So, we'll get rid of him. So, there we go. Clear out a little bit of the dead weight as it continues to sign players at the AHL level for us. What I have to do before I can even make any moves whatsoever is I have to sign some veterans to some stupid deals. And that will include Miro Heiskanen, who is still looking to be paid. We're going to look to pay him a nice, shiny salary of about $20 million. So that's good. 38-year-old, why not have a nice little severance package here? I wish I could offer you the full 25, but again, the game doesn't know how to register that, so that's fine. We'll also sign Hilbert to a $20 million contract. We'll have him just be a healthy scratch at the NHL or the AHL level. He will not see the ice one way or another. You get to sit in the press box for a year. If anything, go do whatever Stefan Robida or Joffrey Lupul have done for Toronto and just hang out and chill and enjoy life. Why not? All I know is I don't need you to play hockey. I just need you to circumvent the rules. That's all I got. That's all I need from you. And apparently my owner's fine with him, or apparently my owner's fine with me just giving you all the money in the world to do absolutely nothing. It's funny how that works. And so we're up to 60. And to be honest, I'm still going to have to sign one other player. So let's take a look here at who it can be. We have Lackey at 34. Sure. Actually, am I missing a former player of ours? I don't think so. Actually, is Verkunen? No. I think we had a Verkunen in a previous series. Not sure how long ago, but I'm fairly certain we had a Verkunen in a previous series, but that's all right. That is all right. We will offer him about 15 mils, so it's going to take a little bit longer to scroll over, but that's okay. It gives us time to talk. It gives us time to chat. How are you doing? You're a goddamn trooper for making it over an hour into this video, by the way. Appreciated. Very much appreciated as we are quickly approaching the end of this series. We're getting down to it. The final few seasons coming up very, very soon. I mean, hell, we're getting close to it. We're 20 years now into this series, which is insane. It has flown by, in my opinion. So goaltenders, let's see, defense. I got to be careful, though, about who I sign because I might not have room to trade everybody away. But obviously, let's see, Linden is junior eligible still, as is Nichols. We can sign Andreoff, though. So let's bring him in. And then forwards, we have Geisber's God, hiccups and burps. They're the worst. I don't know if Del Monte is AHL eligible. I don't think Boss is either. I don't know if I'll probably play Geispers at the NHL level. So let's sign him. We need to sign Rogers. And I don't know if Ray is worth signing. He's Canadian anyway. So there we go. We took care of that, and we may have to sign some more people. We'll more than likely have to sign some more people, but that's okay. I think that Ennis guy that I traded, maybe I shouldn't have, but that is okay. As Lackey, Heiskanen, Hilbert, and Voutilainen all accepted. Let's go move the team around, shall we? Like I said, there is still room to move Marcus Brodin if we choose to do so. Let's go defense. So the defense is set. To be honest, I need two more defensemen. So let's go sign 2 of those medium top 6 players, and we'll get rid of whatever guy is the worst out of the trio. So we'll have some fresh faces in on defense with the San Diego Gulls. Let's see here. Defense. Unsigned. And actually, well, yeah, because we can't sign Linden and Nichols, and Mendoza is not 20. So it's going to be Baldwin and Kai Karainen who get signed here. Congratulations, fellas. I'm not sure if you'll be around for longer than a season, but hey, you'll get to say that you played for Goon Squad B, the junior team, the developmental team, Goon Squad B. You have FC Barcelona, and you have FC Barcelona B, and that is what you are. So congratulations. Welcome to the team. And then forward-wise, what do we have? We know that we want to call up Geispers. From there, again, Hilbert and Lackey cannot play. We know that we're going to send down somebody. It's going to be probably McTaggart or Sanderson. Both suck, really. The Enforcer can stay. Sanderson is a better checker. So down goes McTaggart. That's going to be my difference maker this time. My deciding factor for some reason. I have no idea why. I just decided that was the deciding factor this time. It's all well and good. Who cares, right? So let's go best lines. And we'll go back to roster moves and call up whoever we have to call up from the AHL. These 4 who just make a shitload of money. And then that way they can sit there. And to be honest, I can't even call up all 4 of them. That is unfortunate. So we'll go back down to the AHL. Now we'll go best lines. We'll take out Voutilainen for Baldwin. That works. And then we'll take out Yakupov, who is not ours. I think, oh, that's right. That's why I signed that other defenseman last year. I thought Yakupov was our defenseman. He wasn't. So that was a mistake. Let's go medium top 4 and high top 6. Low top 4, and we'll go with Krebs and then Karainen and Baldwin. So that is the defense this season. Sauer and Andreoff. That is a pretty strong top pairing. I got to admit, I'm excited to see how they do in terms of development. And then when it comes to the forwards, I know we got to take out a Fenisankov. We have Rogers that gets into the lineup. We'll take out Mironov. What do we have, a left wing? Zubov is not ours. Right wing, nobody. Okay, so let's see. Who do we have to take out of our lineup? I think it's just those last 2. Indeed it is. Ideally, I'd like to get rid of McTaggart and Baumgartner. Don't think that's going to happen. I need to sign, ideally, 2 more forwards. Do we have 2 more forwards to sign, or did I get rid of too many people? I mean, again, it's ideally, I can just play whoever I want there, but I'd like it to actually be 2 of our prospects. So, forwards. And we'll take the risk with Del Monte and Boss to see if either of them are junior eligible. If not, whatever. And, of course, we have Ray, who normally I would trade. I'm actually going to hold on to him, I guess. Because otherwise I'm stuck with McTaggart. I don't know. Don't know if that's how I want it to be. So let's see. Are those 2 AHL eligible? If they are, we're in a good spot. If not, we got to have 2 nobodies play. And we got to have 2 nobodies play. Yeah, neither of them are AHL eligible unless we get a little bit fancy with it. And the 2 guys that are currently down in junior get the chance to play at the big boy level. Is that how we want to do it? So we have Del Monte and Boss. Probably not the best idea to have them play at the NHL level. But you know what? Let's give it a shot because, I mean, yeah, why not? So we have Sanderson. I'm going to send down Lackey as well. And who else has crazy money? Hilbert. Let's do it that way. And then just let me send down whatever defenseman's getting paid a stupid amount, that being Miro Heiskanen. So for forwards, I got to send down 1 guy. I'm not sure who I want that to be. It could be Walls. Geispers can't be sent down. We have Cashman. Nolan's there at 36. To be honest, I mean, Cashman, how did he do last year? He put up 20 points. It's not too bad. How did Shing do last year? 17. And then Walls put up 37 points in the NHL. You know, I'm going to give Walls the time down in the AHL. I think that's how I might do it. So let's send Walls down. And from there, let's go best lines again. Boy, roster management. It is something. Let's go best lines. And then allow me to call back up 3 of the guys that I had to send back down. So it makes the AHL editing a little bit easier. So it's still just Ufalainen, Vuvalainen, Vevalainen, whatever the hell his name is. So the NHL team this year is, again, going to be something. So let's go with, let's see, who can play 4th line? Everybody but Alos. Everybody but Alos can play 4th line. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to have Geispers. I want Geispers, Del Monte, and Boss, each on their own line. Boss will obviously be on the 4th line. So Cashman is 24, Polisek's 25, Alos is 27. Might be worth having Wild on one of the higher lines. Again, Alos can only be 3rd line. Let's go with... I don't even know. Who do we want to go with here? Polasek did all right last year, so let's have Polasek there. And then maybe Wild. Maybe Wild and Alos, Shing and Cashman? Maybe? I feel like that might not be a bad way to go. Might be proven wrong. I've been wrong before. It's a rarity. No, I'm kidding. It's a common theme. But that might be the way to go. You know what? That's going to be generally what the team looks like. Not 100%, but that's going to be close to what the team looks like this year. And the defense is already sorted out. It's beautiful. It's lovely. Frederick McDonough is still the man, as is Brodin. So we'll figure out exactly how I want to set up the forwards. And then as far as the AHL forwards go, let's bring in Sanderson. And let's bring in Walls. And then that way, it's nothing but our prospects. I'll have to figure out the forwards exactly. The defense and the goaltending is already set. So aside from a little bit of reordering and shuffling, just to make sure we're getting the most, out of our players at the time, or making the most, getting the most out of our prospects. Aside from a little bit of reshuffling, we're good to go. The team is set. A calendar year is in the books. We missed the playoffs for the first time in a while. The team has continued to change a lot as I have committed to trying to just go for it as we have hit the last 5 years. That quick rebuild, the retooling. We have enough picks to hopefully make it happen. Although certainly the issue is whether or not, I don't know if we're going to be able to pull it off. With Brodin and McDonough at their age, I don't know. I don't think Freddie's going to make it till the end of the series, and Brodin might not either. It's going to be an interesting end. This series might end on a high note, or this series could end on a whimper. But the goal, without a doubt, is to get back to the Stanley Cup one more time, and I hope we are able to do just that. So, Speaking of Marcus Brodin, of course, let me know what you think. Do we hold on to him until the end of the series? I mean, we do have quite a few draft picks, of course, as it is. But still, let me know what you think. You know the deal. Appreciate the support. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Take it easy. And goodbye.